and a lawn property management community to call home. In this video, we'll review the residential apartment lease agreement, terms, and conditions, along with all the additional addendums that make up our complete lease packet. Please have your printed lease packet available to follow along. Let's get started. The move-in reservation form is unique to each customer. Here's a sample for reference. On your copy, please review the lease dates for accuracy, including the move-in date and the lease end date. Next, review your total monthly charges, which includes the lease charges and property charges. This is the total amount owed for each full month. Any payments already received will be shown here. Finally, your total move-in amount due is the amount owed prior to move-in for your scheduled move-in date. This includes all prorated monthly charges for your move-in month and all one-time fees, less any prepayments and concessions. If your move-in date is the 25th of the month or later, your total move-in amount due includes next month's total monthly charges as well. The lease term sheet is also unique to each customer. Here's a sample for reference. On your copy, once again, review your lease term dates, monthly lease charges, and non-refundable fees and concessions. Note, your monthly property utility charges are not included on this term sheet, as they are represented in the separate utilities and services addendum that is also included in your lease packet. Please be sure to review the specific notice requirement for your community. Although we hope your plan is to renew, we do not automatically assume your plans at the end of your lease. We require a written notice to vacate in advance if you will be vacating your apartment. If you do not provide the proper written notice or renew your lease with us prior to the current expiration date, your lease will continue at the current month-to-month rate plus applicable premium. Rent is due in full each month by the first of the month. This due date is regardless of whether or not the office is open on the first. We offer electronic payment options 24 hours a day and additional options to pay with cash at your local MoneyGram locations. Payments not received by the first will be subject to the community late fee schedule. Returned payments will be subject to the community NSF fee, plus any applicable late fees in accordance with the late charge schedule. In addition to this term sheet, all of the additional agreements checked here make up your complete lease packet. All leaseholders should initial at the bottom of page 1, the middle of page 2, and sign at the bottom. Next, we'll review the residential apartment lease terms and conditions. In addition to the figures discussed on the term sheet, these are the rest of the terms and conditions of your lease agreement. While it's up to you to review this document in its entirety, we'll provide a brief overview of many of the paragraphs now. Lease term. Your lease term was identified on the term sheet. We require a written notice to vacate as identified on your term sheet as well. Failure to provide timely written notice to vacate will result in an insufficient notice fee equal to a maximum of 1 month's rent. When your lease expires, if you do not renew and you do not vacate, the lease will automatically renew on a month-to-month basis. Month-to-month. Month-to-month tenancy means the rent may increase to the then current market rate, plus the month-to-month premium. These amounts may continue to increase during this time with 30 days notice provided to the resident. Rent is due in full on or before the first of each month. Rent must be paid in accordance with the community's rent collection policy, which will be reviewed in detail later in this video. Late fees will be charged in accordance with the late charge schedule identified on the term sheet. In the event of a returned payment due to insufficient funds or for any other reason, the resident is also subject to pay an NSF fee as identified on the term sheet as well. Returned payments will also often incur both NSF fees and late charges. If a lease or move-in concession was offered on your lease, it was offered in conjunction with the lease term on the term sheet. If you fail to fulfill this term, meaning if you vacate the apartment prior to your lease expiration date, you will be responsible to repay any concessions granted and used. Security. Residents are responsible for your own personal safety and security. We do not have the power to offer protection against crime. Criminal activity. On that note, engaging in criminal activity on or near the property is a violation of this lease that may result in termination of the lease and eviction proceedings. Assignment or subletting. We do not allow subletting. If you need to move before your lease expiration date, let us know as soon as possible and we can provide you with your options. Pets. All pets must be identified on the term sheet and the pet addendum and fall within the guidelines of the community pet policy. Additional fees and monthly pet rent will apply. All residents are responsible for their own pets at all times. Further detail and clarification on pet requirements are addressed in the pet addendum document of this lease packet, which will be discussed later in this video. Repair and maintenance. Your community staff is here to maintain and repair any issues you may have in your apartment, but you need to let us know about them quickly. It is the resident's responsibility to contact the community office or the after-hours emergency repair number if necessary to address the issue. We expect that you will care for your apartment as your own home in a safe, clean, and sanitary manner. All trash should be removed from your apartment on a regular basis and disposed of in the proper areas. Trash should not be left outside your door. Locks and security systems. You are permitted to get a security system at your own expense, but you must provide us with access information in case of emergency. We also ask that you do not change the locks on your own for the same reason. If you need your locks changed, please let us know. Parking. Parking is on a first-come, first-served basis and always at your own risk. There are typically no assigned parking spots, and Elan is not responsible for unforeseen circumstances that may happen to your car while parked in the lot. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Please do not disable any smoke detectors in your apartment. We are happy to provide a battery if needed. Just let us know. Default by resident. If the resident fails to meet the obligations of this lease agreement, Elan reserves the right to terminate the lease and recover possession of the apartment. Elan has the right to recover all delinquent charges, apartment damages, an early termination fee of a maximum of 2 additional months' rent, and all costs associated with obtaining possession of the apartment. Unpaid amounts will be sent for collections and credit reporting. All leaseholders should sign the acknowledgement form at the end. Resident Handbook and Community Policies. The Resident Handbook is an extension of your lease agreement that outlines some of the more common policies and required procedures for our communities. While it is up to you to review this document in its entirety, we'll provide a brief overview of many of the paragraphs now. We are here to serve. We strive to make your residency with us pleasant and enjoyable, so please let us know anything that you need. We offer regular office hours for your leasing and maintenance needs, as well as after-hours services for emergency maintenance needs. As stated previously, rent is due on or before the first of each month. Late charges and return payment charges will also apply in accordance with the lease term sheet. Also, as mentioned previously, parking is on a first-come, first-served basis. We also require that vehicles be in running condition with current licensing. Otherwise, the vehicle may be tagged and towed at your expense. If you need to make minor repairs to your vehicle on property, please check with the community office first. Once again, trash should be placed in community dumpsters only and not left outside your apartment. You are welcome to hang pictures or similar items on your walls. We ask that you use only the slanted nail hangers or removable style hangers, as they do the least damage to the walls. If you are looking to hang anything heavier than pictures or small mirrors, please refer to the standard cleaning and repair charges document for the costs associated with large or excessive holes in the wall. We want our community to look clean and inviting and consistent from the outside. If you choose to hang drapes or curtains, we ask that they have a white backing or that you keep your blinds down. If your blinds become damaged, please let us know and we will replace them. Attic storage. Many of our communities have attic storage in the apartment. Please keep storage items contained to the upfront floor area only. Make sure to keep plenty of circulation in the attic for air movement and don't stack boxes all the way to the roof. We are pleased to offer private patios at many of our communities for your outdoor enjoyment. We do have a few community requirements on their upkeep and proper use. We ask that you do not hang anything on the exterior of the fence and that you only store proper outdoor furniture inside the fence. The patio area is not meant for storage of any other kind. Feel free to plant flowers or plants within the perimeter of the fence, but keep in mind you are responsible for maintaining the appearance in that area. Moving out. If you choose to move out at the end of your lease, please note that the apartment should be left in the same condition as when you moved in, aside from normal wear and tear. Cigarette smoke, burns, and stains are not considered normal wear and tear and will result in applicable charges. Leaseholders should sign the acknowledgement form at the end. Limited liability addendum. The terms of your lease agreement require you to carry personal liability insurance while living at our community. This addendum to your lease agreement allows for another option instead. Choice 1 states that you may decline to purchase liability insurance for the designated fee to be charged and paid monthly along with your monthly rent. This is our limited liability waiver fee. It is not insurance and does not cover any of your person or property for any reason. It is simply a waiver fee or penalty fee for choosing not to get the insurance required by your lease terms. Choice 2 states that you agree to purchase personal liability insurance as required by the terms of your lease from an insurance company of your choosing. You must provide proof of your insurance policy to select Choice 2 and avoid the waiver fee. Elan Property Management or your community name must be listed as a certificate holder or interested party on your policy. It is up to you to maintain this policy while living at our community. If your insurance lapses or is canceled, the limited liability waiver fee will bill automatically. Check the appropriate box for you and all leaseholders sign at the bottom. Utilities and Services Addendum. This addendum to your lease agreement outlines the requirements for your utilities and services relating to water, sewer, trash removal, preventative pest control, gas, and electricity. Most Elan communities bill a flat rate utility and services fee, along with a small administrative utility analysis fee. These amounts are unique to each community and are outlined in paragraph 3. For most communities, this amount includes water, sewer, trash removal, and sometimes preventative pest control services, depending on which services might be billed to you directly from your city. Please check with your community manager for specifics for your community. These charges are subject to change at any time during your lease term with 30 days notice provided. You are responsible for setting up electricity for your apartment from your move-in date to your move-out date, or when you turn in keys. If you fail to keep the electricity on in your name for any reason, this is a lease violation that can be penalized up to $50 per day. All leaseholders sign at the bottom of page 2. Pet addendum. You are required to declare any pets that will be living in the apartment. We have a 2-pet maximum at our communities. We have a one-time pet fee that is due at move-in and a monthly pet rent to be paid each month with your rent. These charges are unique to each community. Please make sure to review them here. If you decide to add a pet to your family at a later date, please let your community manager know first. We do have breed restrictions you'll want to be aware of when choosing a pet, and of course, we'll need to add your pet to your lease. You are responsible for your pet and the actions of your pet at all times, as well as any damage caused to the property by your pet. Pets should be on a leash when outside your apartment and accompanied by you at all times. Pet waste must be picked up immediately and disposed of properly. All leaseholders should sign the bottom of page 2. Mold and mildew addendum. This addendum outlines your responsibilities in preventing mold and mildew in your apartment. You are responsible for keeping your apartment clean, using the appropriate climate control, and not blocking any heating, ventilation, or air conditioning ducts. If you find any evidence of a potential water leak or mold or mildew in your apartment, you must notify your community manager immediately in writing with delivery via USPS certified mail. This must be documented this way for your protection as well as ours. All leaseholders should sign at the bottom. Bed bugs addendum. This addendum helps to educate our residents about bed bugs. Bed bugs are a growing issue across the U.S., and we all have to be diligent in prevention and controlling these pests. This addendum states that the apartment has been inspected and is currently bed bug free, and you are not bringing any bed bugs with you in your furnishings or personal property. You will help to prevent and control a bed bug infestation by checking for hitchhikers after visiting public places and after guests leave your apartment. If an infestation is found, you will cooperate with pest control efforts and preparation for treatment, and you will be responsible for any cost associated with getting rid of the bugs. All leaseholders should sign at the bottom. Satellite dish addendum. Elan allows you the option of a satellite dish. However, we have a few community and FCC requirements for their installation that you must adhere to. Please note that not all apartments on our properties are eligible for a satellite dish due to the direction the patio is facing. If you are interested in a dish, you will need to determine your apartment's viability before committing to a purchase. The dish must be installed and kept within the parameters of your private patio fence. It cannot be above the gutter line. It cannot be mounted to any part of the building structure, including the fence. Instead, it must be mounted to a sturdy tripod or inside a concrete block. Wiring cannot cross over any common areas on the property, and the dish cannot be larger than 1 meter in diameter. Please review these requirements with your dish provider prior to installation. All leaseholders should sign at the bottom. This is your community's rent collection policy. Rent is due each month on or before the 1st. We offer multiple online payment options through rentpayment.com that are available 24 hours a day. Rent Payment also offers the option to pay over the phone with a customer service representative 7 days a week. Cash payments can be made via MoneyGram for a nominal fee. We do not accept payments in person at the office. If rent is not paid on time, a written notice to vacate the premises will be delivered in accordance with your community policy. Eviction proceedings will commence the following business day after the written notice expires if payment still has not been received. Balances must be paid in full to stop the eviction process and must be paid with cash at MoneyGram. 2 returned payments will require that all future payments be paid with cash at MoneyGram. NSF fees apply in accordance with the lease term sheet. All leaseholders should sign at the bottom. Emergency Notification Form. This form provides the information we need in the event of an emergency. All sections must be completed. Keep in mind, the person or persons you choose as emergency contacts may be given access to your apartment in the event of a serious emergency. Please fill out all required sections and sign at the bottom. Standard cleaning and repair charges. This is our price sheet for the common costs of replacing damaged or missing items, either during your stay or upon move out, and other costs like general cleaning that are typically associated with move out. We want our residents to be aware of these costs up front, so you will treat the apartment in a way that will avoid any additional expenses during your tenancy or upon move out. All leaseholders should sign at the bottom. Move in, move out checklist. While we make every effort to ensure your apartment is perfect for your move in, there might be items we missed or that occurred after we completed our work in the apartment. It is important that you inspect all rooms and items listed on this checklist to make sure everything is in good condition and working properly. Any damages or other items to note should be documented on the left side of this checklist under the move in column. We refer back to this document upon move out to ensure you are not charged for any pre-existing conditions. One of our staff can meet you at your new home to assist you with completing this document properly and to ensure it is returned to the office. If you wish to complete this form on your own, please note that it must be returned to the community office within 48 hours of move-in. All leaseholders should sign on page 2 under the move-in signature section. For communities in the state of Florida only, liquidated damages addendum. The state of Florida allows a tenant two choices if you need to terminate your lease early. You must choose your preference at this time. Choice 1. Resident agrees to an early termination fee of 2 months' rent. With this option, you will not owe any future rent under the terms of your lease. This is a final payment to break the lease agreement. Choice 2. Resident does not agree to an early termination fee and will continue to be charged future rents according to the lease terms until the lease expires, as applicable with the law. Initial choice 1 or choice 2, and all parties sign at the bottom. Thank you for watching this presentation of our lease agreement documents. If you have any questions regarding your lease paperwork, please contact your on-site community manager. We look forward to seeing you soon.